Get ready. Hold tight.
Hold on to your hats, boys.
Libos.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Wednesday Week.
Just what the flipping Nora are you lot doing?
I'm still in there. I'm still right behind him.
It was just a very well thought out tactical plan by Danny.
I want go!
I can literally feel the steam coming out your ears.
So it's like a fun little post-game snack.
The Wednesday Week!
Hello, welcome to an episode of Hello from the Other Side. And Dan will kill me if I don't play this, so warning. Yes, that's the well-known Wednesday fan Adele there introducing our podcast. So Boxing Day's coming up and we've got a trip to Middlesbrough and I'm glad I've been joined by Jamie. Jamie, how are we doing?
Yeah, not so bad, mate. Yourself?
Mate, stressed, busy. I know it's Christmas, but everything, work, podcast, everything, mate. Everything. Are you all ready for Christmas? We'll get this out of the way.
No, but we've still got time, so we're all right.
Yeah, this is recording at 9:30 on the 23rd. So yeah, we got plenty of time to get the shopping in, haven't we? So that's it.
True.
Yeah, right. I mentioned it. Boxing Day football. We've got a lovely trip up to Middlesbrough. I've been many times, and I'm making the trip myself. We'll get right to it. Jamie, Middlesbrough. What were your thoughts, hopes, aspirations start of the season with the manager, and obviously you've had a couple of signings as well. So start of the season. I know we're nearly halfway through. So what was your thoughts?
Yeah, after the summer that we had. Going into the season, quite optimistic. I didn't think we would have enough for the top two, only because of the teams that tend to come down with the money that they've been able to spend on players that they can retain, or they can go out and spend. I always fancied Leeds to be where they are. Burnley, Sheffield United.
Whoa! No swearing on this podcast, please, mate. No swearing.
Hey, mate. Mate, I'm not a fan of Chris Wilder, not a fan of them, so don't worry about that. I'm on the same boat as you. But in all fairness, I think the aim was the playoffs for me. But the Championship is such a crazy league that there's always that hope that you go on a run and you can challenge at the top. But I was always fancying around about the 4th or 5th mark, given the investment that we put in. We signed Aidan Morris from Columbus, who's been an absolute find. He's been injured for the last 3-4 weeks, right at a crucial time as we went into playing Burnley and Leeds in the same week. And I think had he been fit, we may have seen different results. We brought in Tommy Conway from Bristol City, who slotted into the system brilliantly. We bought more left backs. That's our weak link, which we'll touch on later on. And shrewd bit of business with George Edmondson at the back as well. Good Championship defender. So I was really, like I say, I was aiming for the playoffs.
Yeah, for me, I'll let you know my thoughts. Obviously, with Middlesbrough, it was a tough one because no disrespect to Middlesbrough. It's like you've been there and thereabouts without. You've been you're not in the same league as a Bristol City Swansea, a Championship club. I'd see you a little bit above that, but you've still just not managed it, have you, in the last few seasons? And it's and Sheffield Wednesday, I've said on our podcast and everyone that I hoped would finish anywhere between 12th and 14th, and I'm getting shot for that at the minute. Not being ambitious enough, but it's looking at your previous. I mean, your run of games for the last 5 are not dissimilar to ours. You've only lost 1, won 2 and drawn 2, where we've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. So we're just a little bit better form than yourselves, just below you as well, and that's the thing. It's not really been the best hunting ground as the Riverside for Sheffield Wednesday. I know last season 2-0 we lost in what was a real must-win game for us, obviously at the wrong end of the table. How's your... It's a stupid one to obviously ask you because where you sat at the minute, but are you happy with your progress at the minute? And I know you've just said about what you thought at the start of the season, and you're not far off that, are you?
We're not far off it, no. I think you've always got to be in the mix, at least going into Christmas. The Championship, we've watched it for years. It's such a crazy league that you could be plonked mid-table, just below it. But as long as you're in touching distance and going to run in March, you can sneak in to the playoffs. I think where we're at the minute, coming off the result of the weekend, there's a little bit. I tell you what, it's some of the best football I've watched. You know, I absolutely loved Karanka when we went up under Karanka, but it was, we'll score one and you won't break us down. Then we've had Tony Pulis, which I'm sure you guys will remember the football. No, I didn't quite mind it.
That's your second strike, that, Jamie.
Again, we had him. I think we had him for a lot longer than you guys. And then you know, we had. I'm going to get shot again. We've had Neil Warnock. So the type of football we've got at the minute is a total opposite to that. But the criticism that I have of us at the moment is we leave subs far too late. If you look at, we played Leeds a couple of weeks ago. We got back into it at 1 each at Ellen Road, and we waited until the 81st minute to make a sub rather than trying to change it when we got back into the game and putting fresh legs on. I would compare us at the minute. I've had this conversation tonight on our 12-man podcast. I've got, it's as close to watching Tottenham in the Championship as you'll get, because we will not change the style that we play football. If you look at the weekend, for example, we've conceded 3 against Plymouth, who were bottom of the league. We've had to come back 3 times. But there's been games, I touched on the Leeds one. We will just not. We would not be happy away from home grabbing a point at Leeds. We wanted to go gung ho and go for it, and got caught out and got beat 3-1.
Is that Carrick? Is that his style of play? Because I'm only going with, obviously he was at Spurs, he was at Man United, and he's played under some managers that I wouldn't have associated that's his sort of philosophy, DNA that Michael Carrick wants to play. But if that's what you're saying, then it's quite what I, as an outsider, is not something I would have associated with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The managers he's played under, he's played under Fergie, who knew how to get the results. And don't get me wrong, like I say, some of the football we've blown some teams away this season, and it took a while for us to do that because we would have, I believe we played Bristol City early in the season, and I think we had 31 shots on 31 attempts, 31 shots, and we got beat 2-0. And for so long it was every Middlesbrough fan would say, we're going to smash someone soon, and then you get into October and we're going to smash someone soon, and then we did. We finally put 6 past Oxford. I think we put 4 past QPR, and the goals started flowing. But it's at the other end that's the problem. It's conceding goals. That's, if you look at our goal difference, for example, at the weekend, I heard a stat that we'd scored just as many as Plymouth. We've scored more away from home than Plymouth have all season. And yet you look at our goal difference compared to the top teams. We've scored goals for fun at times, but we just concede far, far too many sloppy goals.
Yeah, that's... it's well, we're the quite same. We've just recorded our weekly review show from the weekend, and we've just come across the same thing. We got a great opening day win against Plymouth 4-0, and we were 3-0 up at half time against West Brom at home, and then went on to still win 3-2. But we were saying we haven't hit a 90 minutes of consistent good football. It's been a half here, a half there, or it's been 50 minutes or 60 minutes of like either end of the game. We haven't, as we feel as fans, not hit that 60 minutes. And hopefully obviously it's got to change sometime, and hopefully it's coming up to Boxing Day. And I was doing a little bit of research. I'm not known for my research, Jamie, and I got a little stat here. It's going to be the 4th league meeting between Middlesbrough and Sheff Wednesday on Boxing Day. Borough won the first one, 1-0, but then we've won the last two, 99 and 2018. So it's good omens. But like I said, I think we've played each other 85 times. Borough have won 38, we've won 34, and it's been a draw 13 times. So draw's not the going to be on the coupon, I don't think, but it's going to be a good one. So let's get to Middlesbrough players. Obviously, a little bit of scouting. So obviously, you can feedback. We'll feed this back to Sheff Wednesday and everything like that. But is there a couple of the players that have been outstanding for you that we should, as Sheff Wednesday fans, be fearful of or look out for? Has there been a youngster, a diamond? I know you've got an informed striker. So I mean, is he the guy that's? I'm not going to pronounce his name.
So yeah, laugh. I think we've got, in all fairness, going forward, our attacking players are absolutely fantastic. I touched on we've walked away from games where we've created 30 odd chances. So and it was always going to be at some point it would start ticking. Lath is on 9 goals this season. Hit a brilliant bit of form at the end of last season, and has picked that up again this season. Tommy Conway, again, he's on 8 goals as well. So, either or who play, they're just as dangerous. Finn Azaz has come into his own. I'll be honest, I'll probably get pelted. I was a little bit critical of him earlier in the season, but the form he's turned on is unbelievable.
Is that the guy from Plymouth? Did you get him for like $1 million or $2 million, something like that? Was it quite cheap, weren't he? Because was he on loan?
He was on loan at Plymouth from Aston Villa.
I remember.
And we bought him for £2 million. Now, I dare say, had Aston Villa realised they were coming in for Morgan Rogers, he may have been part of that deal a week later. But he wasn't. But yeah, he's been for £2 million. He's been this season has been very good. As the season's progressed, he was Player of the Month last month as well in November.
I've seen a tweet today. Is the top. On, I think it's who scored midfielders.
Yeah.
I only say that because Shea Charles was 6th. So I've got a little bit of context there.
Well, if he links up really, really well with that Elaf, they've got a real good understanding. So if them two are playing together, those two, they can link up and they know where the back of the net is. Ben Doak as well. If Ben Doak fancies it, on loan from Liverpool, he's been absolutely outstanding, to be fair, at times. Really exciting to watch. So I would keep an eye out for him on the right wing. So those are the attacking players to definitely watch out for.
And you mentioned obviously you're a bit light, well, not light at the back, but a bit susceptible to shipping a few goals. Is that a player thing, or is that just the style of play? Is there something that you can? Because I mean, for Sheffield Wednesday, we've had trouble at centre backs. Our main centre back, you might have seen, is missing on Boxing Day. Bernard, he got himself 2 silly yellow cards, so he's off for a couple of matches because it's his 2nd red.
Off for Christmas, love it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's suspicious, that, isn't it? I mean, off for Christmas. So he's going to be missing on Boxing Day. But is it something that is it been a mentality thing? Is it a style of play, or is it just out of form players? Because that does.
It's a left back problem at Middlesbrough. If you look, since we've had Ryan Giles, I think we've had 4 left backs since, including Neto Borges, who's the left back at the moment, who we picked up from a 2nd division French team. He's the most un-Brazilian Brazilian you'll ever watch in your life. But teams, that's where teams target the left full back. So you tend to find that Riley McGreen, partly because of the form of Azaz as well, who plays at the number 10, gets pushed out to the left to try and protect him. If you watch the highlights back from the game at the weekend, he took quite a bit of stick, Borges, because I think all 3 he could have made a difference on. although the ball did come, all of the crosses did come from the right-hand side. So the full-backs have been a bit of an issue, the left full-back more so. So
good to hear.
Yeah, I would imagine that'll be where you target.
If you see our highlights, both our goals on Saturday came from the right-hand side. So that's good. That's good to hear that. Yeah, I like that. And I know we've got a bit of a not power struggle, but choice of player to play right wing back. We've got Jan Valery that we got from Southampton, and we've got Paul Valentin who came in, was brought in last season by he who shall not be named, Cisco Munoz. But I think that's one of the only things he's done right. Actually, I got to say, he's brought him, but he's a real attacking threat. And if they've done the homework and listening to you, Jamie, about your left back situation, that could be a bit of a weakness for Wednesday fans to look at and Wednesday to exploit. It's going to be you want to look at some. I know us podcasters and stuff, we love to talk and think, but it's good to hear from other fans and podcasts like yourself that there is a weakness that we can look at when I'm stood there in the freezing cold on the terrace on Boxing Day. I don't know. I'm gonna. What are your thoughts on Sheffield Wednesday? So obviously it's been very publicised our last, should we say, 12 months. Of the Championship last season and this season as well. Me as a Wednesday fan and anyone listening to this, all the people, the tens of people that listen to us, know we're going about Danny Rohl far too much as a manager, but he has turned into a bit of the heartbeat of the team from the sideline as well. So what's your thoughts on Sheffield Wednesday, Jamie, if you don't mind?
I'll be honest. Obviously, being a Middlesbrough fan, my focus is Middlesbrough. But if I think back 12 months, I think I witnessed one of the worst games of football between two footballing sides against Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday v Middlesbrough. It was not one for the ages. Our left back that day, by the way, had an absolute stinker. Probably one of the worst players. Engel, one of the worst performances I've seen a player have. But I believe that was under Muniz. It
was. And Valentin, who I just mentioned, that was probably the best game I'd seen for him for 45 minutes. He absolutely had your left back. But I think they took him off after about 50 minutes because he was gassed because he'd done that much running. And that was probably his best first half of football I've seen from him. So, I do remember it now. It was not for the purists.
It was stinking, wasn't it? But I watched you that day and obviously then watched the highlights of the Championship, and obviously you were in a bit of a fight. Danny Rohl come in. Kept you up, and this season, first game of the season, I saw you smashed. Was it Plymouth 4-0? And then the next game, I think Sunderland. Was it 3? They knocked past you. Was it 3 or 4?
It was 4. I believe.
Was it 4 in the end? Yeah.
I think they scored 3 in the first 25 minutes or something daft like that.
Yeah, so it was one of those. It was kind of trying to suss out how your boys would go this season. I'll be honest with you, looking at the league after the weekend, I couldn't believe that you were only 3 points behind us and that you have snuck up the table. Looking at some of your results have been, you've had some good results. You've had a good December. Okay, Blackburn, you got beat. Yeah. But, you've only got to be in touching distance. And I could see Bannon still running things as he fire, and I've always liked him, to be fair. So yeah, I think it'll be a real good game. I think you'll be a difficult team to play against. You hear the praise that Danny Rohl gets, linked recently with the Southampton job. Yeah, it was, and when managers are being linked, they've got to be doing something right. And your progression this season up the table, and you'll be but playoff position isn't definitely off the cards for you boys. And I know you had a bit of fun in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago in the league below. So never say never.
Yeah, it's for me at the minute. Like I say, it's a bit of it's not a false position. And Dan, who hosts ours, said, "Do you feel like we've got imposter syndrome?" It's like, because we don't feel like we should be there because of some of the results we've had have been shocking. The home defeat against Watford, 6-2, was an absolute car crash. But then, like I said, our away form has been a lot better than our home form in recent weeks. And that's what gives Wednesday fans a little bit of a hope that they always say, don't they, if you win your home games and things, but it's been reversed for us. Yes, we had a good win on Saturday against Stoke with 10 men, but our away form has been pretty good lately. So it's going to be good coming to Middlesbrough. I've been, like I said, a couple of times. I've enjoyed it. Not enjoyed the losses, but yeah, I've enjoyed the day.
It's always good because your boys always bring a full away end, and it's very rare that we get a full an away team bring a full allocation. There's the likes of yourselves, Leeds, not many others to be fair. So it's good to see a full away end. It's a sellout for Boxing Day.
For yourselves as well, for home.
Yeah. It's a home sellout as well. So should be a good atmosphere, and let's hope we see a better game than we did 12, 15 months ago.
At Hillsborough, yeah, definitely. I think we did sell out because like I said, we do sell out pretty quick, and I think it's nearly 2,000. I think you gave us.
Yeah,
it was quite a low allocation, but I think that's because of home fans as well. If you're saying you're selling out, then obviously you're not going to give us you're going to give us the bare minimum. So yeah, I think it'll be good. We do travel good in numbers, and it has been good atmosphere for Wednesday fans when. Purely because of the results and the way, and I'm sure there'll be a couple that have carried over from Christmas that'll be enjoying Boxing Day as well. It'll be good. Jamie, how do you see the game going? Obviously, I know you've just talked about Sheffield Wednesday and the Middlesbrough frailties at the back, shall we say? Are you confident on Boxing Day? I mean, you've always got to back your own team. I know that's a stupid question, but it's like you say, we're both in the top half, and that's great for Wednesday fans to say. But you are in a good prime position, and we are trying to get there. So it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really good game of football. When we do predictions on our podcast, I've got a bit of a rolling joke that I always back one each. If I don't back one each, we always it goes the opposite way for us. So I always go one each with a bit of tongue in cheek. But no, I'd like to think we've got enough to win the game. We need to hit a bit of form really. We've got yourselves, Burnley and Hull as our next 3 games. Burnley, Hull away. So ideally, you want to be coming out of that, I would say, at least with 6 points, if not 7, if you've got any ambitions of really challenging. So I'd like to say with the atmosphere, with the still a bit of Christmas spirit in the air, and maybe there's a couple of pints in the air as well. I'd like to think that that Laff will turn it on and we'll pinch you. Well, we won't pinch us up. We'll be comfortable in a result, but I don't doubt that it'll be a tough game given where you are in the league and the December that you've had. So yeah, I think I'll go 1 each just to continue my hoodoo but I hope for a win definitely.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm clinging on to the fact that our away form is pretty good. It is because I'm same as you, Jamie. I have on Saturday I predicted 1-1. Obviously, we did win, and I've predicted a draw quite a few times. I've tried to be positive, and then when I've done 1-1, I've gone on 1-1 or got lost or lost. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 away win for Wednesday because I'm trying to be positive and festive and all that sort of thing. But I do think it's going to be a tough one. Like I say, history, we've not done too well up at Riverside. I imagine it's not going to be the greatest of weather. Never is it? And
not a beer. No.
And it was terrible on Saturday at Hillsborough. The conditions were awful. I don't know what it was like at your game, but it was terrible. But it's I'm quite looking forward to it. You're right. We've got our next 3 are Middlesbrough, Preston away, and Derby at home. So we've got it's the same sort of thing. We're looking at them games and thinking we've got 3 games here. 6 points would be fantastic. 7 would be a dream Christmas period for us. And And I think now I've got to get into the mindset, and people listening might have, that we're 9th for a reason. Yes, we've not been great, but we've got to be thinking of beating teams like yourself. Because I think it's just Middlesbrough that we haven't played at the minute. Yeah, because we're turning round, aren't we? So obviously, we've played everyone. And we've played a few of the top 6 at home, and like Burnley, Leeds, Watford. I think that's everyone at home. And we've beaten Middlesbrough, lost Blackburn. So yeah, not done too well. And obviously we don't talk about the other team. So I'm going to go 1-0. Jamie, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us and giving up your time. Everyone listening, drop us a like, subscribe. You know what to do. This has been Hello from the Other Side, the Middlesbrough edition. We'll see you Boxing Day with all the festivities, and let's hope that Santa's kept one little last present of 3 points under the tree for us Wednesday nights. Cheers, everyone. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Every week, live from 8 p.m. It's the Wednesday Week, bringing you football analysis.
He came in. I think he scored a goal.
Bringing you banter.
Yeah.
Bringing you responsible life hacks.
Met you wonderful souls at 10 a.m. for some shots.
The Wednesday Week. 1, 2, 3, 4 live. Available on all social medias.
Obviously, this goes out on YouTube and as well as all the other social media out there, podcasts, etc.
The Wednesday Week 24-25 season. Join us.
Put on your podcast.